If you want to be more effective in your persuasive arguments, then we need to work at building a better position. So let's take a look at what it would take to solidify your position. The basic building blocks of any persuasive argument or position are a claim, the data that supports that claim, and a way of reasoning that connects the data to your claim. We're going to take a look at these three building blocks through a specific example, but this example is just one. I want you to think about your own positions that you might have. Maybe it's for a specific speech, or maybe it's for a current event, and I want you to think about where these things are showing up in your position. If we can break our positions down into these elements, we can build a better position. And we can think more critically about the positions that we hear from others. We can engage critically with what we hear from people we love, politicians, pastors, teachers, people we disagree with. Let's take a look. My basic claim that I'm going to use for this example is that you should stay single in college. That's the position that I'm going to build my argument around. Now, if I just stop here and say you should stay single in college, and you say why? And I said, well, it's just what I believe. Well, I have a pretty weak position. It's just what I believe. That's okay, I guess. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion, but being entitled to an opinion doesn't mean the same thing as being entitled to having your opinion treated as fact. Maybe you need to hear that again. Being entitled to an opinion doesn't mean that you're entitled for that opinion to be treated as fact. You can have an opinion and be wrong. That's okay. Let's take a look at what data I might use to support this claim. I say you should stay single in college. You say why? I say, well, I have like $40,000 in student debt. College is expensive. And I spent around $100 a month when I was dating in college. So you should stay single in college. Well, there's something missing here. I have data to support my claim, but what I need is my reasoning. I need to connect these two because the data alone is just data. I need to find a way of connecting it to my claim. Here's the reasoning that I'm using. I'm using reasoning from specific instances, or inductive reasoning, that says, based on these specific data points, I can say something about my claim. So, college is expensive, and dating is expensive. So if you're in college, which is already expensive, don't add additional expenses to your debt. You should stay single in college. So I have a claim. You should stay single in college. I have data that says college and dating is expensive. And I can reason from that if college and dating is expensive, reasoning from these specific instances, you should stay single in college. What do you think about my claim and the data that I've chosen? It's a position. Is it the strongest position that I could take? We have something here in my argument. We have a fallacy. Fallacies are an error in the consistency of my argument. In other words, I've used data in such a way that doesn't actually support my claim. Maybe it's weak. Maybe it's inconsistent. Maybe it's a different argument altogether. In this position that I've constructed, we have what is called a generalization error, or a generalization fallacy. I have taken what has happened to me and I've tried to generalize it to all people. So what I could do to strengthen my argument then is to actually go find some data points other than my own. I could find data that shows that the average student loan debt in America is just over $35,000. I could find data that shows that dating costs around $146 a month by certain measures. All of a sudden, I've taken my argument, my position, and I've made it a little bit stronger. I'm not generalizing from my individual experience. I've found some statistics, some data that's helping to strengthen my argument. Now, if you disagree with my claim, it's okay. Ask yourself why. How have I used this data? Could you use the same data to point to some other claim? That this doesn't show that you shouldn't date, it shows that maybe our system is broken, that you're paying too much for college, that we shouldn't sacrifice personal happiness and connection with other people for financial stability. Build your arguments by better understanding the arguments that you disagree with. Look at how they build their positions. Think critically. What data did they choose to include or not include? How does that data lead in error to a claim? Or how could it be better supported? Has the reasoning of the claim fallen through? Is it appropriate to use reasoning from a specific claim or inductive reasoning in this specific example? We're not going to go through all the different types of fallacies or all of the different types of reasoning. Think about your claims that you are making. What type of reasoning and what type of fallacies might you fall prone to? Sometimes these are habits, ways of thinking that we tend to commit these certain fallacies. Get back into your reading. Take a look. My encouragement for you, as you are working at building better positions and supporting those positions and opinions, you have to think and engage critically and be willing to change your mind when presented with new information.